Have you ever paused at the edge of a curb and, for just a moment, questioned if your feet would carry you safely to the other side? It's a quiet worry, one most people don't talk about, but it's there, growing louder with each passing year. I'll be honest with you. I used to believe that losing confidence in the way I walk was simply a part of getting older, something everyone just had to accept, like gray hair or reading glasses. It felt almost shameful, even though I knew so many of my friends had the same secret concern. We'd laugh together over coffee, swapping stories about rugs that seemed to leap up and grab our toes, or the art of furniture surfing across the living room, one steady hand always reaching out. Underneath the jokes, though, was the quiet fear. What if I did fall next time? But here's the truth. You don't have to surrender your independence, and you certainly don't have to live in fear. There are gentle, proven ways to rebuild your confidence and stability. No judgment, no drastic routines, no fancy equipment. All it takes is a little awareness and a few new habits. You might be surprised at how quickly you can start to feel steadier on your feet, just by making a few small changes each day. Imagine the freedom of moving through your home, or your garden or the grocery store, without that little knot of worry in your stomach. Doesn't that sound wonderful? So let me ask you, what's one moment in your day when you've noticed yourself being more careful or hesitant than you used to be? I'd love to hear your story because you deserve to walk with confidence, and to truly enjoy every step. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. Now, let's begin. 1. The truth about falling. It's remarkable how the fear of falling quietly weaves its way into our lives. For many of us, it doesn't begin with a dramatic trip or a tumble down the stairs, but with something so small, we almost don't notice it. A slight hesitation at the top of a step, a subtle glance downward before walking across a rug, or the way our hand instinctively reaches for the wall at night. One day, moving through our homes feels perfectly natural. The next, it's as if invisible threads of caution have tangled around our ankles. What's truly strange is that for so long, society has whispered the same old story into our ears. Falling is just part of getting older. Don't be surprised, they say, it happens to everyone. We're told to expect it, to prepare for it, to accept it almost like we'd accept the changing color of our hair or the gentle deepening of our laugh lines. And yet, this narrative brings with it a heavy sense of inevitability, as if there's nothing we can do, as if we're meant to shrink from the world, quietly making our steps smaller and our lives narrower. But the truth about falling is far more nuanced, and, in its way, far more hopeful. Most falls don't just happen because we've celebrated another birthday. They happen because, over time, the way we move begins to change, often so gradually we hardly notice. It's a slow drift, a slight shuffle in our walk, a cautious curve to our back, a stiffness in our shoulders. We adapt to tiny aches or the memory of one clumsy step. And in that adaptation, something gets lost. Our natural confidence, the easy way our bodies once moved without a second thought. I can remember my own first hints of these changes. I was in my late 60s, bustling around my kitchen, when I realized I'd started to walk differently. My steps were shorter and more careful, as if the floor itself had become an uncertain landscape. At first, I laughed it off, blaming the weather or my slippers, but the worry stuck with me. I found myself scanning the room for potential hazards: a wrinkle in the carpet, a cat snoozing in the sun, a pair of shoes kicked off by the door. The world, which once felt familiar and safe, began to seem filled with hidden traps. And yet, even as this new wariness crept in, I told myself the same thing so many of us do. It's just my age. Everyone slows down. Everyone falls eventually. It was only when I spoke to my friend Helen, who had recently taken a nasty spill in her driveway, that I began to realize how common this quiet fear had become. She confessed that since her fall, she'd started avoiding certain parts of her home. The steps to her basement, once nothing more than a path to her laundry, had become an insurmountable mountain. Even the simple act of reaching for a coffee mug in a high cabinet made her pause. "I never used to think about these things," she said, her voice tinged with disbelief. What neither of us had been told, what so few women our age ever hear, is that most falls are not simply a symptom of aging, but a reflection of subtle changes in posture, strength, and even mindset. Over time, our muscles may lose some of their spring. Reflexes can slow a bit, and joints may ache on cold mornings. But far more dangerous than any birthday is the way fear itself changes us. The more we worry, the tighter we hold ourselves, shoulders hunched, eyes glued to the ground, arms tucked in close for safety. We try to make ourselves smaller, to take up less space, to brace for a fall that may never come. Ironically, this very act of bracing, of holding back, can make us less steady, not more. Science has shown that the biggest predictor of falling is not age, but the way we move. When we let fear dictate our steps, we teach our bodies to expect trouble. Each time we shuffle instead of striding, or peer at our feet instead of looking ahead, we reinforce habits that undermine our natural balance. What was once an unconscious dance, moving through the world with our heads high and our arms swinging, slowly becomes a performance of caution. Our homes become obstacle courses. The garden path becomes a gauntlet. Yet, within this truth is something deeply empowering. If these habits are learned, they can also be unlearned. The body, even after many decades of use, is wonderfully adaptable. Muscles can regain their strength. Reflexes can be sharpened. Confidence can be rebuilt, step by gentle step. It begins with noticing. It begins with kindness, with letting go of the judgment that says, "I'm too old for this," and instead replacing it with curiosity. How am I moving right now? What is my body telling me? If you recognize yourself in this story, if you've caught yourself hesitating before stepping down from the porch, or if you find your arm drifting toward the wall for support, know this: you are not alone. Millions of women have felt that same flutter of anxiety, that same longing for the days when their bodies felt sure and strong. The path forward does not require superhuman strength or a return to youth. It simply asks for awareness and the willingness to try something new. Maybe you've started to dread uneven sidewalks or grassy lawns, places you once wandered without a care. Maybe your steps have grown shorter, or your arms have stopped swinging naturally at your sides. All of these are clues, signs that your body is ready for a new chapter. The beauty is that it's never too late to begin. Even small shifts, lifting your gaze, loosening your shoulders, planting your feet with intention, can send ripples of confidence through your entire being. One of the most hopeful lessons I've learned is that fear doesn't have to be the driver. We can choose curiosity over caution, possibility over resignation. Yes, bodies change. Yes, the years leave their mark. But your walk is not broken. It is simply asking to be rediscovered. Like dusting off an old photograph or tuning a favorite song, you can restore the rhythm and grace you thought had slipped away. If you listen closely, you'll notice that your body is always offering feedback. A wobble here, a twinge there, it's just information, not condemnation. It's a quiet invitation to pay attention, to move a little differently, to honor both your wisdom and your will. The journey toward confident walking is not about denying the reality of aging. It's about refusing to surrender to the myth that growing older means losing your spark. So the next time you catch yourself hesitating or worrying about that stubborn rug in the hallway, remember, falling is not your destiny. It is not the final word. With every thoughtful step and every moment of presence, you are reclaiming your independence and rewriting the story. You are more capable than you know, and your very willingness to face these fears, to seek new solutions, is a testament to the strength that has carried you through so many chapters of life. In the end, the truth about falling is simple but powerful. It is not a given, not a curse of old age, but a challenge that can be met with courage, knowledge, and a heart open to change. And every day, with every step, you get to choose. Walk in fear or walk with hope. The journey begins right where you are, one steady, intentional step at a time. 2. Rediscovering balance and posture. There's a quiet beauty in watching a child move, how they run, twist, and tumble with an effortless grace. They don't think about balance, how to plant their feet, or whether their shoulders are hunched. Their bodies simply know. But as the years go by, that natural rhythm gets interrupted, not all at once, but slowly, like the gentle shifting of a river's course over time. And for many of us, by the time we reach our 60s and 70s, the way we stand and move has changed so much that we hardly recognize it. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. If you pause for a moment and notice how you stand and how you walk across your living room, you might find things are different than you remember. Maybe your chin dips just a little. Maybe your shoulders rise and round forward, or your arms hang by your sides, stiff and close to your body instead of swinging easily. Maybe you find yourself leaning forward as if anticipating the next step, or tightening your back and neck in subtle ways you never used to. These shifts don't come out of nowhere. They're gentle responses to life's aches, worries, and most of all, the unconscious desire to protect ourselves from a fall. I remember the first time I realized how much my posture had changed. I was waiting in line at the grocery store, watching an older gentleman in front of me. He stood tall, with his shoulders relaxed and head up, chatting easily with the cashier. Next to him, I caught my reflection in the refrigerated glass. A woman leaning forward, chin tucked, shoulders hiked up as if bracing against a cold wind. I laughed a little at myself, but it was a bittersweet laugh. When had I started shrinking from the world instead of standing tall in it? For so many women, especially those who have spent decades caring for others, posture becomes an afterthought, something we might have cared about in our youth but left behind in the busyness of adult life. Now, in this season of life, posture has come back into focus, not for vanity's sake, but for balance, confidence, and simple safety. The thing is, posture isn't about looking prim and proper. It's about allowing your body to move the way it was designed to move, with all the strength and poise you were born with. The science behind posture and balance is both simple and profound. When your body is in natural alignment, your center of gravity is exactly where it should be, over your feet, ready to adjust to uneven ground, a sudden turn, or a gust of wind. Your muscles, joints, and even your brain all work together more efficiently when you're balanced. It's like tuning a piano. Even a small adjustment can bring everything into harmony. So, how do we find that harmony again? It starts with the head. Imagine, just for a moment, that there's a delicate silver string attached to the very crown of your head, gently pulling you upwards toward the sky. You're not forcing yourself straight like a soldier at attention. You're just lengthening, allowing your spine to stretch in its natural curve. Tuck your chin in ever so slightly, so it's aligned with your neck. That tiny change might seem insignificant, but it signals to the rest of your body that you're ready to stand tall. Next come the shoulders. After years of hunching forward, over a desk, at the kitchen table, or just as a response to the weight of worries, they often want to stay up by your ears. Try this. Let them drop, softly, then gently roll them back, just until they rest a little behind your chest. You shouldn't feel rigid, just open. Feel the front of your body lift a little, giving your lungs room to fill with air. It's amazing how simply opening your posture can change not just the way you look, but the way you feel. Calmer, safer, more grounded. Now, focus on your arms. For years, I'd gotten used to keeping my arms close, almost as if I were holding myself together. But our arms are meant to move, to swing opposite our legs as we walk. Right leg forward, left arm swings. Left leg forward, right arm swings. This natural rhythm isn't just about momentum. It helps stabilize the body, especially when you need to change direction or step over something unexpected. Try letting your arms swing the next time you walk, even just from the kitchen to the living room, and notice how much more balanced you feel. And then there are your feet, the foundation of every step. Many of us get into the habit of shuffling, maybe out of caution, maybe because our shoes aren't quite right, or maybe just from years of being careful. But your feet are designed for a beautiful, rolling motion. Think of each step as a three-part process. Your heel touches down first, then your weight rolls through the sole, and finally, you gently push off with your toes. Heel, ball, toe, one smooth, fluid movement. Practice it as you walk down your hallway, feeling your body engage muscles you may not have used in years. It's not about walking faster, but about walking with intention. Finally, your gaze. When fear sets in, we look down, scanning for danger, but this throws us off balance. Instead, try focusing your eyes forward, toward the horizon, whether you're indoors or outside. This simple adjustment widens your field of vision, lets your brain anticipate changes in your environment, and, perhaps most importantly, tells your body that you are confident and in control. Of course, these changes won't feel natural right away. Your body has adapted to moving in a certain way for years, maybe even decades. At first, you might catch yourself slipping back into old habits. Chin dropping, arms stiff, feet shuffling. That's not a failure. It's simply the process of relearning. Be gentle with yourself, and celebrate even the smallest victories. Every time you straighten your back, lift your gaze, or swing your arms, you're sending a message of trust to your body. I believe in you. We can do this. Rediscovering balance and posture isn't about chasing after youth or denying the reality of aging. It's about honoring your body, treating it with kindness, and giving yourself the tools you need to keep moving confidently through the world. With each intentional step, you reclaim not just your physical balance, but a sense of self-worth and agency that no number can define. If you've been shrinking from the world, it's time to stretch tall again, to step forward into life with courage and grace. Your posture is your foundation, your balance is your freedom, and both are within your reach. No matter where you begin or how many years have passed. So stand tall, look forward, and let every breath remind you. This is your body, your journey, your life, and you are more capable than you ever imagined. 3. Gentle exercises for strength and stability. There's something quietly powerful about the act of moving with intention, especially when you do it not to prove anything to the world, but simply to support yourself. Many of us grew up believing that exercise meant hard work, sweat, and discipline, something reserved for gyms or young athletes in bright sneakers. But as the years add up, our relationship with movement changes. The goals become gentler, yet far more meaningful. We no longer care about running marathons or lifting heavy weights. We just want to rise from a chair with ease, walk through the garden without fear, and trust that our bodies will keep us steady through whatever each day brings. For many women, the loss of strength and stability feels almost like losing a dear friend. It doesn't happen all at once. One day, you notice it's harder to stand on tiptoe to reach the top shelf. Maybe the simple act of carrying a laundry basket makes your knees wobble. Perhaps you find yourself pausing at the bottom of a staircase, summoning courage you never used to need. It's humbling. And sometimes, it's scary. But you are not alone in this. These changes are a natural part of life, not a personal failure. I remember sitting at my kitchen table one morning, feeling frustrated after a restless night spent worrying about a friend who had fallen in her own home. The thought of losing my independence sent a cold wave through me. But I also remembered something my physical therapist once told me: your body wants to move. It wants to help you. Give it a reason every day, and it will answer. Those words stuck with me. And so, I started small, so small it almost felt silly. But every little act of movement is a quiet message to your muscles and your mind: I believe in you. Let's try. What I've learned, and what I wish every older woman could know, is that you don't need fancy equipment or complicated routines to build meaningful strength. You don't need to push yourself to the edge of exhaustion. You just need to start, gently, with care and curiosity. The exercises that restore stability and confidence are often the simplest ones, the kind you can do in your living room, wearing your favorite sweater and a pair of socks. The first exercise that made a real difference for me was the one-leg stand. I'd stand behind a sturdy kitchen chair, lightly resting my hands on the back. Then I'd slowly shift my weight onto one foot and lift the other just an inch or two off the floor. At first, I wobbled, gripping the chair with white knuckles. But after a few tries, I noticed my ankle and hip working together, tiny muscles firing that I'd long forgotten. I held for a count of 10, then switched sides. Each attempt was a quiet celebration, proof that strength isn't about being unshakable, but about finding balance even as you sway. Another gentle but powerful movement is the knee raise. Again, I'd use the chair for support, standing tall, then slowly lifting one knee to hip height, as if marching in place. I would lower it down, then raise the other, back and forth, like a gentle dance. This movement retrains your body to lift your feet fully, teaching your hips to work efficiently and reducing the chance of tripping. Each slow repetition is an act of kindness. No need to rush, no one keeping score. One of my favorites, especially on mornings when my feet feel stiff, is the heel-to-toe rocking exercise. Holding the back of the chair, I'd rise onto my tiptoes, pause, and then gently rock back onto my heels, lifting my toes off the floor. The movement is subtle, but it wakes up every small muscle in the lower legs and feet, the foundation for stable walking. After 10 or 15 gentle rocks, I'd feel a warmth spread up through my calves, a little reminder that my body was still eager to carry me forward. Of course, practice doesn't end with these stationary moves. The mindful walking practice, simple as it sounds, might be the most transformative. I'd find a quiet hallway, plant my feet firmly, lift my gaze, and walk slowly, focusing on every step. The heel touches first, then the ball of the foot, then a gentle push-off with the toes. My arms would swing naturally at my sides. 2 or 3 minutes of this mindful movement each day was like a meditation. With time, it brought my walk back into rhythm, smoothing out the hesitation and stiffness that used to make me nervous. And then, there's the power of breath, a simple reset for posture and spirit. Standing with feet shoulder-width apart, I'd close my eyes, inhale deeply, and imagine that silver string pulling my head upward. With each exhale, my shoulders would relax, my chest would open, and a sense of calm would settle over me. Just 60 seconds of this kind of breathing is enough to remind your body what upright, balanced alignment feels like. It's a quiet affirmation. I am here, I am steady, I am safe. None of these exercises are about achieving perfection. Some days, my balance falters, or my back feels stiff, and I can only do 1 or 2 movements. On other days, I find a little more strength and a little more trust in my body. That's the heart of it. Progress is not about the number of repetitions, but about showing up for yourself with gentleness and hope. The beauty of these gentle exercises is not just the strength they build, but the confidence they restore. Every time you practice, you're not just training your muscles, but rebuilding the trust between your mind and your body. That's the real secret to stability, not some magic technique, but a partnership with yourself, forged through daily acts of self-care. The world may never notice your quiet victories, but you will. You'll see it in the way you reach for a book on the top shelf, step out onto your porch with steady feet, or simply breathe a little easier as you move through your day. So don't be afraid to start small. Every gentle exercise is a step toward freedom, a promise to yourself that you are still strong, still capable, and still worthy of every joy that movement can bring. Give your body that reason to move each day, and watch as it answers you, steadily, gracefully, with a quiet power that has always lived inside you. 4. Breath and mindset for confident walking. Sometimes, it's the things we've done all our lives without thinking that hold the most power to change us. Breathing, for example, is so automatic, so constant, that most days we hardly give it a second thought, unless we're climbing a hill or laughing too hard with friends. Yet, as we grow older, the way we breathe, and the way we talk to ourselves in our most private moments, begins to matter more than ever before. These quiet, Invisible habits have the power to lift us up or quietly chip away at our confidence, especially when it comes to something as basic and beautiful as walking through the world on our own 2 feet. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. You might not remember when you first started feeling cautious with every step. Maybe it was after an icy winter, or the day a neighbor took a bad fall. Maybe it happened so slowly you hardly noticed, until one day you realized you were holding your breath as you crossed the living room, or you found yourself mumbling a silent warning, "Careful now," every time you got out of bed. It's as if fear has a way of tightening not only our muscles but our lungs and even our thoughts. I'll admit, I used to think that feeling nervous about walking was simply a part of growing older, just something you live with. But I learned almost by accident that the way I breathe and the things I say to myself can make the difference between a day lived in quiet dread and a day that feels truly my own. One morning, I paused at the front door, ready to step outside, and instead of hurrying, I stood still, closed my eyes, and took a deep breath. I let it fill my chest, all the way down to my belly, and then let it go slowly, like letting out a gentle sigh. My heart slowed, my shoulders relaxed, and suddenly the world didn't feel so sharp-edged. I opened the door and walked out, feeling lighter. That's when it clicked for me. Breathing is not just about oxygen, but about signaling safety to my whole body. When we're anxious, our breath creeps up into our chest. Short, quick, shallow. Our shoulders tighten, our steps get smaller, and our body gets the message, something's not right. Prepare for trouble. But when we breathe deeply, letting the air travel all our lower ribs, something changes. Our body hears a different message. You're safe. You're steady. You can move forward. It's a small act, but it shifts everything. There's science behind this, of course. Slow, deep breathing activates a part of the nervous system that calms the heart, lowers blood pressure, and even improves balance by relaxing the muscles that tend to clench up when we're afraid. But you don't need a medical journal to know that breathing deeply just feels better. It's something you can do anywhere, anytime. Sitting in your favorite chair, waiting in line at the pharmacy, or just before you take those first steps out of bed in the morning. Sometimes, the simplest way to start is to make a habit of pausing. Before you stand up, plant both feet flat on the floor, close your eyes for a moment, and take 3 slow, deep breaths. Inhale through your nose, feeling your belly expand. Exhale gently through your mouth. With each breath, imagine your shoulders softening, your jaw relaxing, and the tension draining from your body. This little ritual doesn't just help your balance. It becomes a gentle reminder that you're in control. But breath is only part of the story. The other, quieter part is the way we speak to ourselves. The running commentary in our minds that can lift us or hold us back. Many of us, after years of shouldering responsibilities and caring for others, have developed a harsh inner critic. When we stumble, even slightly, we might hear, "clumsy," or "you should be more careful." These words may seem harmless, but over time, they erode confidence, making us more hesitant and fearful. What if, instead, we treated ourselves with the same tenderness we would offer a dear friend? If you catch yourself worrying, try changing the conversation. Instead of "don't fall," try "I am steady. I trust my body." Instead of "be careful, you're not as young as you used to be," try "I am wise, and I know how to move safely." It may sound a little silly at first, but I promise, your body listens. The more you replace fear with encouragement, the more your muscles relax, your steps lengthen, and your confidence grows. You can make this a practice as well. Before a walk, pause and breathe. As you do, whisper a phrase of reassurance. "I am grounded. I am steady. I trust myself." With every step, let your breath flow naturally, keeping your shoulders relaxed and your eyes forward. If you start to feel nervous, stop and take a few more deep breaths, reminding yourself that you're in no hurry. The world can wait for you. I remember a friend, Joan, who used to dread walking to her mailbox because it meant crossing a patch of uneven grass. We talked about her fear, and I showed her how to pause at her door, breathe deeply, and tell herself, "I can do this, one step at a time." After a few weeks, she reported back with a smile. "I still get nervous," she said, "but now I know I can calm myself. I talk myself through it, and that makes all the difference." It's easy to underestimate the power of these gentle shifts. Breathing deeply, choosing kinder words, pausing before you move. They don't cost anything, require no special equipment, and can be practiced by anyone, anywhere. Yet they open the door to a kind of confidence that has nothing to do with muscle strength and everything to do with trust. Remember, walking well isn't just about your legs or your balance. It's about bringing your whole self into the moment, breathing and mind working together, reminding you that you are safe and capable. Every time you pause to breathe or replace a worried thought with an encouraging one, you are laying a foundation for more confident movement. And with each step, you're not just moving through space. You're reclaiming your freedom, your independence, and your joy. So the next time you feel that old flutter of anxiety before you walk, try this. Pause, breathe deeply, and remind yourself, out loud if you need to, I am steady. I am safe. I am free to walk my path. Those simple words, paired with the gentle rhythm of your breath, can turn even an ordinary walk into an act of courage and hope. And that's a gift you deserve every single day. 5. Creating a safe home environment. Our home is more than just a place to rest. It's the heart of our daily lives, filled with memories, comfort, and the freedom to be ourselves. Yet as we grow older, the spaces we love can quietly become a source of worry. Those familiar rooms and hallways, once easy to navigate, may now feel like obstacle courses. It's easy to overlook the little things that can trip us up, the rug that slips beneath our feet, a dim corner, or a scatter of shoes by the door. But creating a safe home environment doesn't mean giving up your independence or turning your space into a sterile hospital room. It means making thoughtful, simple changes that protect your balance and confidence, so you can move freely and live fully. One of the most common hazards in the home is the humble rug. Rugs add warmth and style, but when they slip or curl at the edges, they become silent dangers. If you have any rugs that slide across the floor when you step on them, it's time to take action. Non-slip pads or backing can secure these rugs in place, preventing sudden slips. Small bathroom rugs, kitchen mats, and hallway runners all deserve this treatment. And if a rug is old, worn, or curling, it's better to remove it altogether. Your safety is worth more than a decorative accent. Lighting is another often overlooked factor in home safety. Poor lighting can cast shadows that confuse your eyes, making it difficult to judge distances or spot obstacles. Think about walking through your home early in the morning or late at night. Are the hallways and stairways well lit? Do you have night lights in critical areas like the bathroom, bedroom, and kitchen? Replacing low-watt bulbs with brighter, energy-efficient ones can make a significant difference. A well-lit path is not just easier to walk, it's a clearer invitation to move with confidence. Clearing clutter is a simple but powerful way to protect yourself. Shoes, books, baskets, and even extension cords can become tripping hazards if left in walkways. Take a look at the paths you use most, especially between your bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, and living areas. Is there a clear, open space for your feet to land with every step? If not, spend some time tidying these areas. Organize shoes on racks, tuck cords away safely, and keep floors free of loose objects. It's amazing how much lighter and steadier you'll feel when your home welcomes you with open, obstacle-free spaces. The bathroom deserves special attention because it's a place where falls are unfortunately common. Consider adding grab bars near the toilet and inside the shower or bathtub. These bars provide reliable support when standing up or stepping in and out of the tub. Non-slip mats are a must in wet areas to prevent slips on slick surfaces. If climbing into the tub is challenging, Tools like a bath bench or handheld showerhead can make bathing safer and more comfortable, without sacrificing your dignity. These adjustments let you maintain independence while reducing risk. Stairs and steps also require careful care. If your home has stairs, make sure sturdy handrails are installed on both sides whenever possible. Check that the stair treads are secure and not slippery. The carpet should be firmly fastened and free from curling edges. Outside steps need to be kept clear of leaves, ice, or water that can cause you to lose footing. Regular maintenance here is key because a single misstep can have serious consequences. Sometimes, the most important safety adjustments come down to trusting your intuition. Pay attention to spots in your home where you feel a little unsteady or uneasy. Maybe it's a dimly lit corner, a slippery threshold, or a favorite chair that's just a little too low. Don't wait for an accident to happen before making a change. Adjust rugs, add lighting, or rearrange furniture in these spaces to support your balance and comfort. Your instincts are your best guide in creating a safe environment. Creating a home that supports your safety doesn't mean you have to give up what you love or make drastic changes. It means thoughtful care and small adjustments that can transform your daily life. When your environment is safe, your body relaxes. You stop holding your breath or gripping furniture just to stay upright. You start to move more naturally, more freely, with a growing sense of confidence. Think about the last time you walked through your home feeling steady and sure. That feeling is not out of reach. With a few simple changes, securing rugs, improving lighting, clearing pathways, and adding support where needed, you can invite that steadiness back into your daily life. It's about protecting yourself with dignity, so you can continue to enjoy your favorite activities, host friends and family, and live with the joy and independence you deserve. Remember, every thoughtful change you make today is a gift to your future self. You are honoring your strength, your wisdom, and your right to live fully and safely. Your home is your sanctuary, and it should be a place that welcomes you with open arms and steady footing. By taking these steps, you are not just preventing falls. You are creating a space where your spirit can move freely and your heart can feel at ease. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. In the end, safety at home is not about fear or limitation. It's about freedom, the freedom to walk, to explore, to laugh, and to live your life on your terms. With care and intention, your home can be a place that supports every step of your journey, today and for many years to come. 6. When and how to seek help. As much as we cherish our independence, there comes a time in nearly everyone's journey when asking for help is not a sign of weakness, but one of the greatest acts of wisdom and self-respect. For many women, especially those who have spent their lives caring for others, the idea of needing assistance can feel uncomfortable or even shameful. We might think, I should be able to handle this on my own, or it's not that bad yet. But the truth is, knowing when and how to seek help is a powerful step toward protecting your well-being and continuing to live life fully. If you've experienced a fall recently, or if you find yourself worrying more and more about your balance, or if everyday activities start to feel challenging, these are important signals from your body. They're not failures or signs that you've lost your independence. They're simply information, guiding you to take the next best step for your safety and peace of mind. One of the most helpful resources available is a physical therapist or movement specialist. These professionals are trained to look closely at the way you move, to spot patterns and challenges that might be invisible to you but are crucial to your safety. For example, a physical therapist might notice a weak hip muscle causing your foot to turn inward or a stiff ankle that affects your gait. With personalized exercises tailored to your needs, they can help strengthen the muscles that support you, improve your balance, and reduce your risk of falling. Sometimes, the support you need extends beyond movement. Occupational therapists specialize in helping you adapt your home environment, daily routines, and tools so that everyday tasks, cooking, showering, gardening, become more manageable and less risky. This kind of help can mean the difference between feeling overwhelmed and feeling confident as you go about your day. You might wonder about the cost of such help, But the good news is that many insurance plans, including Medicare, often cover part or all of the cost of these therapies. Even a single consultation can provide valuable insights and peace of mind. It's a wise investment in your health and independence. Mobility aids, like canes, walkers, or walking poles, are another tool that can offer tremendous freedom. Far from symbols of defeat, when used correctly, these aids can help you go farther, move more confidently, and carry less fear in your heart. It's common to feel hesitant or embarrassed about using them at first, but many women find that after a few days, they feel stronger and more secure because they're no longer bracing for every step. Remember, reaching out for help does not mean you've given up. On the contrary, it means you've chosen to keep going wisely, safely, and with support. It means you honor your body for everything it has carried you through, and you're making a thoughtful choice to protect your future self. If a part of you has been quietly wondering whether it's time to talk to someone, let this be your gentle sign. You don't have to do this alone, and you shouldn't. There are people ready and eager to walk beside you every step of the way. Sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is extend your hand and say, "I'm ready." Making that call, scheduling that appointment, accepting that extra help, these are acts of courage, not weakness. They are declarations of self-love and determination. Your journey toward confident movement and safety is not just physical. It's deeply personal and emotional. And with the right help, you can continue moving forward with grace and strength. So, if you find yourself hesitating or feeling unsure, remind yourself that seeking support is a sign of strength. You are not fragile. You are capable. And there is a whole community ready to help you thrive. Your next step is simply to reach out and take it. You've just taken in a lot of important information, and maybe right now your mind is swirling with questions. Where do I begin? Is it too late for me? Can I regain the confidence to walk without fear? Let me tell you something from the heart. It is never too late. You are not fragile, broken, or defined by your age or any past stumbles. You are a woman who has lived, who has carried so much for others, who has faced hard days and kept going. Now, it's time to do something for yourself. Learning to walk with strength and confidence again isn't about proving anything to anyone else. It's about reclaiming your freedom. The freedom to move without hesitation, the freedom to trust your body, and the freedom to live fully on your terms. It starts with the smallest of steps, a deeper breath, a mindful moment, and a steady hand on the back of a chair. It begins with noticing how your body feels and responding with kindness and care. Slowly but surely, those small changes add up. You'll find yourself walking more naturally, releasing the need to grip walls or furniture. You'll trust the floor beneath your feet. You'll step outside without that knot of worry in your stomach. Whether it's visiting a friend, tending your garden, or simply walking to the mailbox, this new confidence is within your reach. You deserve to live well, with joy and independence. So today, I invite you to take that first step, no matter how small, and choose to walk with strength and grace. And if this message speaks to you, please share it with someone who might need it. Together, we can help each other move forward.